Hey guys, and welcome back to another YouTube video. In this video I'll be going through the Sydney vs West Coast game, which Sydney ran out winners by 13 points in a pretty low scoring game. No team really was able to actually get on top in this game. Swans didn't blow them away, which probably shows that they aren't necessarily, like we knew, they weren't a top 8 side. They're probably around about that 12th to 13th ranking wise, the Swans. As you can probably see with their results against GWS and now this result here, as well as getting blown out by Geelong and Brisbane. Certainly not the worst side because they obviously picked up a win against West Coast. I think West Coast are 0-4 now. But sort of showing that they're around the same range as I would say the likes of obviously GWS, who they just beat, Fremantle, etc. And St Kilda's just above them. Collingwood are probably around that range as well. I mean, if we look at AFLW ladder, I forgot, and Gold Coast is above them, I think. Same as they're around the range of Port, Hawthorn probably a little bit above them. Carlton are probably around that same range. Collingwood as well, given that they're 1 and 3. St Kilda as well, probably as well. So there's like a group of 5 or 6 of them that aren't, like, you have Western Bulldogs, obviously. GWS are actually 0-4, and West Coast are 0-4 as well. So I wouldn't be surprised if they drop down lower and lower at the end of the season, but they're certainly not going to be. I don't think they'll finish bottom of the ladder with only 2 wins. With 2 wins, I don't think that'll finish bottom. I think you'll see a 1-win team finish bottom or a 0-10 team. But anyway, before we get into the video, remember to like and subscribe. Turn the notification bell on so you know when I upload, and let's get into the recap. So, as I said with the Swans, there's sort of 3 main people that you got to go for. Gardner, 93, only 19 touches this week, 22 less. Thought she'd go huge, and I think a lot of people were banking on that, but Marinoff just went absolutely nuts. And the thing with Gardner, as you'll see here with Gardner, she went off to a flyer and then settled down in the second. And you'll see with Moffat as well. Moffat, I think, just got killed by free kicks. As you can see, she went minus, I think, 16 with free kicks or something. So she got killed by that. There's only really 3 main players, and you see them in the top 4 in Gardner, Moffat, and Malloy. Outside of that, I mean, Kennedy was a cash grab for some people. And that's probably worked well, her going up from, I think, 300k to like 600k very, very quickly. So that's probably something that I miss. Since Sigeti, 59, Whelan, 58. You see Hurley, 92. Annoyingly, she's a midfielder, which sort of sucks because if she was a forward, there would definitely be value there. Because I was just looking at that quickly, and you see here, midfielder. And she's gone 50s. If she was a defender or a forward, you'd probably jump on that. But she's not, so you don't really jump on a 700k that's barely hitting 90s as a midfielder. That's why there was some value in Kennedy, because she had a similar role to Hurley, but I think Kennedy will sort of suffer when you have Ham come back and stuff like that, because Ham wasn't playing this game, and Ham should be back next week. We'll see what happens there. Whelan, 58, Lockland, 58, Smith, 56 with 2 goals, so don't really look at that too much. Shepherd, 54, McAvoy, 51, Heads, 51, and if you look at Heads, you'll see here there's a common denominator of her going into halftime having an absolute shocking score, and then somehow recovering it for a semi-decent score. 51 this week against West Coast, where she shouldn't have gotten that much of the ball, is quite ridiculous, so... for her to recover in that manner, 32 in the second half. I know it's not that much, but she does this every single week, and it's kind of funny that you just know that it's going to happen almost at this point. I mean, what's her lowest score of the year? I think this might be her lowest score of the year, her tied lowest score of the year, and I'm pretty sure in that Giants game she went in the last quarter and scored a 20-odd to save it. And I know she did it against Brisbane with a 39, and I'm pretty sure she did something similar against Geelong as well. And they play Carlton this week, which actually could be interesting. I do think Carlton might get the win against the Swans, but I do think that that Heads will have more of the ball. Sullivan, 49, Hamilton, 42, a little bit wasteful in front of goal for Hamilton. Tarrant, Mitchell, Privatelli, Newman, etc. And then McCarthy, 11, that kind of just sucked. She just got stuck on the bench. It seems like all was one of the girls that just had to be on the bench. as you need people to be on the bench with there being 5 on the bench. I think there is 5. Yeah, there's 5 on the bench. So yeah, that just sucked for McCarthy. And for the cash gen for Mia, she only went up, I think, 9k. No, she went down 25k, didn't she? Yeah, she went down 25k, so that really just sucked for me. I thought that was an option there with her going 40, but I guess not. Should have just gone for a 300k that went up. Yeah, anyway. Hooker, 96, Swanson, 91, Smith, 84, Lewis, 77, Thomas, 77. Thomas was huge in the first little bit. And then she just has a strong game. So for those people that traded her out, are they probably regretting it slightly? Yeah, they probably are. As it seems like 70s in the defense is all right. And as you can see, Thomas obviously wasn't my captain. That was McDonald, and I've just flipped that across. Let's just make it so that it looks a little bit better. But yeah, Thomas 77. So you sort of see this 70s in the defense is there or thereabouts, and it's trying to get the other areas up. And then you got Roberts 72. She's doing all right. Had a big second half of 50 to get up there. McCarthy 65. Wakefer, and then the other Wakefer as well. So the Wakefers are doing well. That would have made cash actually going for the defender Wakefer 29 average. Oh, okay. She's in store for a cash rise if she does well this week, this coming week. Britton, Rowley, McDonald, Gibson, Davison, Western Gooch, Sedunary went. Did she go 70? She went from memory. She went 77, 9, and 27. She is just so volatile in her scoring. And yeah, I didn't catch all of this game. I think I caught like the first quarter and a half of this or something, or maybe even the first half of it. No, first quarter of this. As I had other commitments which sort of suck. But yeah, so I caught the first quarter, and as you see here, it was Gardner, Moffat going nuts. No one else really from the Swans. Malloy, I think, kicked a goal at that point she kicked that goal from around the corner or something like that to get her going, and I might have caught her second goal by the time that I had left. And then Hooker, Smith, and Swanson, they'd all gotten off well, and Thomas had gotten off to a flyer as well. McCarthy as well. There was a couple goals that obviously went and scored late in Thomas as well as Roberts, scoring 40 and 50 respectively in the second half, and Wakeford went out strong in the second half. I think mostly because the free kick sort of flipped around in her favour against Moffat. That was a high free kick game. If we look here, 7, 8, 10, 12, 13, 15, 16, 17, 20 free kicks, 4 and 20, and then 3, 10, 13, 15, 16, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 27, 28. So there was 48 free kicks given. That is a large amount even for a men's game, and we're talking about 85% for at best 85%, most likely closer to 70% of the men's game time, and they're more. That was more free kicks than you'd see on average in the men. So yeah, a lot of ruck infringements, as you can see. And then as you can see with 12 free kicks in the ruck at least. Probably more likely to be somewhere around that 13 or 14 free kicks in the ruck contest alone, which is quite high. So yeah, there's that. So anyway, there's not much more to, I guess, go through in this game. I mean, it was two teams that aren't going to be at the top end of the ladder, and there's no one really that I like for the West Coast Eagles. Swanson is really 10 or 15 below par for a midfielder. Hooker's very inconsistent as a forward. Thomas and Roberts are sort of there or thereabouts, and I think they're ones that you can just hold if you have, but I wouldn't be going for if you don't have. I'd be going for Priest, or if you don't have Roberts, I'd be going straight up to Goldsworthy, because Goldsworthy is going to make cash quickly, and then go up to the likes of a Hall or a Too Good or a Morrison if she doesn't get suspended. But yeah, so and for the Swans, it's just Moffat, Malloy, and Gardner basically, and that's about it. And then heads, don't get heads, but try and if you have her, to try and get her up to like a priest or someone else, as they will score 10 or 15 more on average. But anyway, that is the video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye, guys.